In the complex world of macroeconomics, understanding the interplay between various factors is crucial for crafting effective policies and predicting future trends. To navigate this intricate landscape, we can employ a structured approach using the concept of triads, a method that involves examining sets of three interconnected elements to reveal how they influence one another in a circular or cyclical manner. This analytical framework allows us to dissect the mutual dependencies and causal relationships within the economy in a clear and systematic way. The use of triads in economic analysis is particularly valuable because it helps to isolate and understand feedback loops and causal chains among key economic indicators and policies. Each triad consists of three distinct but related macroeconomic factors, such as GDP, consumer confidence, and government spending, or interest rates, inflation, and wage growth. By analyzing these groups of three, we can uncover how a change in one factor might ripple through to the others, providing insights into the dynamics that drive economic outcomes. This triadic approach not only simplifies the complex interrelations in an economy, but also highlights the potential consequences of economic decisions, illustrating how interventions in one area can produce intended or unintended effects in others. For policymakers, economists, and scholars, using triads offers a compelling method to explore economic scenarios, forecast changes, and devise strategies that consider the broader economic ecosystem. In the following analysis, we delve into various triads, each chosen to demonstrate dominant relationships between different macroeconomic factors. Through these examples, we illustrate the power of triadic analysis in making sense of the multifaceted nature of economic systems, providing a narrative that brings theoretical interactions into a practical and understandable realm. Triad 1: GDP, consumer confidence, and government spending. Imagine a scenario where a nation experiences a substantial increase in GDP due to a boom in its technology and manufacturing sectors. As businesses expand and salaries increase, the general populace feels more financially secure, which in turn boosts consumer confidence. This high consumer confidence decreases the perceived need for government intervention, leading to a potential decrease in government spending on direct economic stimulus measures. However, the government might reallocate these funds towards long-term investments in infrastructure or education, which further sustain economic growth. This cycle showcases how an increase in GDP indirectly influences government spending decisions through the mediating effect of consumer confidence. Triad 2: Exchange rates, export levels, and foreign direct investment (FDI). Consider a country whose currency depreciates relative to others, making its exports cheaper and more competitive on the global market. As a result, its export levels soar. Observing this trend, foreign investors might see a lucrative opportunity and increase their direct investments in the country's exporting industries. This influx of FDI not only supports the existing export businesses, but also encourages the development of new enterprises, further strengthening the currency's position in the future. This interrelation illustrates how favorable exchange rates and increased export levels can synergistically attract foreign direct investment, creating a reinforcing loop that benefits the overall economy. Triad 3: Inflation, interest rates, and wage growth. Imagine a country facing rising inflation, prompting its central bank to increase interest rates as a countermeasure. This decision aims to temper consumer spending and slow inflation. However, higher interest rates can also make borrowing more expensive, which may slow business expansion and reduce the rate of wage increases. Consequently, if inflation is controlled without stalling the economy, wage growth might stabilize at a sustainable rate, preventing an overheated economic environment. This narrative explains how central banks use interest rates to manage inflation and its effects on wage growth, illustrating the delicate balance needed in monetary policy. Triad 4: Unemployment, technological advancement, and labor market flexibility. In a rapidly advancing digital economy, a country that fosters technological innovation tends to maintain low unemployment rates due to the creation of new tech jobs and industries. However, this positive outcome is highly dependent on the labor market's flexibility, including its ability to adapt to new technologies and its regulatory environment. Flexible labor markets encourage continuous learning and skill adaptation, which are crucial for workers transitioning between traditional industries and new tech-based sectors. Without significant advancements in technology and a flexible labor market, a country may face increased unemployment and economic stagnation. This example illustrates how technological progression and labor market policies must align to minimize unemployment. Triad 5: Fiscal policy, economic growth, and public debt. Suppose a country decides to implement aggressive fiscal policies by increasing spending and cutting taxes to stimulate economic growth during a recession. While these measures might boost GDP in the short term, they could also lead to a substantial increase in the nation's public debt. Over time, as the economy grows due to initial fiscal stimulus, the government may find itself in a stronger position to manage and service this debt without compromising its fiscal health. Conversely, sustained economic growth could provide the government with additional revenues to eventually reduce the debt burden. This scenario highlights how fiscal policy directly impacts economic growth and public debt, with each influencing the other in a cycle of economic decision-making and outcomes. These narratives provide a clear, illustrative view of how interconnected and dynamic macroeconomic factors can be, highlighting the cause and effect relationships within each triad. Our exploration of macroeconomic dynamics through the lens of 5 distinct triads has revealed a nuanced and interconnected landscape, where each factor not only influences but is also influenced by its counterparts. This triadic analysis underscores the complexity of economic systems and offers valuable insights into the cyclical and reciprocal nature of key economic variables. The triadic approach to macroeconomic analysis not only helps in mapping out the terrain of economic interactions, but also in forecasting the potential outcomes of policy decisions. By understanding these dynamic relationships, policymakers and economists can better craft strategies that leverage positive feedback loops while mitigating negative consequences, ultimately leading to more resilient and adaptable economic systems. This method of analysis, by breaking down complex economic interactions into manageable units, provides a clearer picture of the economic landscape and facilitates more informed decision-making.